Hey, Yvonne here, succession planning expert, executive coach, and the creator of Succession app. Today we're going to talk about when to start executive succession planning. And of course, you know what the answer is going to be now. People ask me all the time when the appropriate time is to start executive succession planning. For example, for their CEO, their executive team, that sort of thing. And my answer is always the same. It's important to start as soon as possible. It doesn't matter if the person's just been hired, if they're young, if the CEO is going to be retiring in 1, 2, 5, 10 years. It's important to get that succession planning going. And that's what we're going to talk about today. If you don't do succession planning because you think, well, we have a young CEO or we have somebody who just started, let me tell you a quick story. So, one of my clients had been with the organization for, I would say about 12 years, and CEO for 12 years, but young, 45 years old. And I had kept in touch with him over the years. He had been in my CEO group that I run. I had done stuff with his organization in terms of leadership, that sort of thing. And suddenly I get a call from him and he says, hey, I have some news. And I'm thinking, what could this be? And he decided that he was leaving the organization, going to a larger organization, taking a step back from the CEO role and being a CFO again. And he was at a successful organization doing a good job. The board was really happy. And the board was stunned themselves. So did they do succession planning? I'd probably give them a C+ in that area. They ended up hiring somebody from within, but she did have a bit of a learning curve to work on. So why is succession planning important? Well, first of all, because you're going to have turnover. That's the most important reason. The baby boomers are retiring. The Pew Research Center did a study in 2009 and found that about 10,000 people a day, starting in 2010, it started 11 years ago. In January of 2010, about 10,000 people a day will reach retirement age. And this will keep going on through the 2030s. So what that means is there are probably people within your organization, probably quite a few people within your organization that are going to be reaching that retirement age. Some of them could be in some of your key management positions. The other thing that could happen is, what if somebody leaves? Let's say your CEO retires from your organization. And let's say that they have been doing a fairly good job of succession planning and they promote somebody from within. It creates a domino effect. And so then what happens is you not only have to replace the CEO, then you have to replace the person who replaced that person, and then you have to replace that person. So you really need to not only do succession planning at the CEO or the highest level within the organization, but really throughout your executive and senior management, even into your management team. So another reason why succession planning is so important, it's to ensure that you have the bench strength. So that when there is an opening, there's somebody who could take over. If not just for the interim, it would be nice to have somebody trained. Another reason is to give people the motivation to stay. So some people feel like they have this aspiration to be in a certain type of role. And if they don't see that they're being developed within your organization, they may look elsewhere because they want to get to that role. So if we do some succession planning, we do some developing of these people, we can help motivate them to stay with our organization because they can see a future with us. So another reason why succession planning is so important is because it ensures that you're emphasizing those critical competencies that the person, a potential successor, needs to move into another role. So what should you do? Well, first of all, create succession plans for all of your key management positions. Second of all, communicate with all the potential successors. Of course, you do not want to give them any guarantees. You want to make sure that you're not saying, I'm developing you to be the CFO and promising that to them. Because there's, especially if it's a ways out before the person will be leaving or retiring potentially, things could change up and that person might not be the right person. So never give guarantees, but communicate with them. Third, identify an emergency or interim successor. And it is okay to identify more than one emergency successor. Fourth, update your plan on a regular basis. Make sure that you're creating these development plans for your potential successors, and then you're reviewing them with them on a regular basis and creating new plans as they accomplish things within their current plan. So again, create succession plans for all your key management positions, communicate with potential successors with no guarantees, identify an emergency or interim successor, update your plan on a regular basis. If you're interested in finding out how you're doing, how prepared you are for management turnover, you can click the link below where we have a 60-second quiz you can take to give you an opportunity to see how you're doing. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button below to get all the information you need to know about succession planning.